This song has the title track, Anatimiza, which is, you know, I'm glad, Esther, you've not asked me what's your favorite song that you've done, because they're all, they were my favorite because of different reasons.
Seasons,
So Anatimiza is very close to my heart. And I wrote it, this song was produced by Agunda Bweni at Bweni. He's Evelyn Wanjiru's husband. And why I wanted to write this song was, you know, everybody knows this. If you don't know it, you can Google that I waited for a child for a really long time. And I walked the journey of battling issues of fertility in the public. And it's a tough place to be, because people will say whatever they want to say to you. They'll say whatever they want to say about your spouse who they know nothing about. And there was such a difficult path to walk. But even more than just the public, there was just your personal, you know, I knew that I had a plan. I'd been married at this age, I'd have kids at this age. You know, by this age I've settled, we've finished having toys, we're now just growing together. And just feeling like all those timelines are all over the place. And year after year asking God, okay, what's the plan? Will it ever happen? And God constantly reminding me to trust His timing. And Him reminding me, He made me a promise, but we never know how long it takes between when God speaks that word and when that promise comes to pass. The time between is what we don't know.
So what He promised you, that you would have a child?
I knew beyond any shadow of doubt that I would have a child. I didn't know it would take 7 years.
Whoa.
I didn't.
First of all, there's something beautiful though about the number 7.
Yeah.
But still,
completion.
It sounds, when you're waiting, it's not,
It's not easy. So I wrote this song from that place. It was a reminder. I was reminding myself that God, you know, God made Abraham a promise of a son, and He did it. God, and there are all these people in the Bible, Rebecca, Jehu, all these people, God made promises. And there's a verse that says that all of those promises came to pass. None of them failed. And I was reminding myself that that same God who did those things, the same God we serve today. And He made me a promise, it will come to pass. He will fulfill it. So I was singing from a place of faith.
Oh my God. So when you're singing this song, it's nothing has happened.
I was the most unpregnant to do anything like that. Nothing had happened. There was not even any signs that I could carry a child. And it was even at the height when the outside voices were really heightened. How long, when are you going to have a toy?
So if I can just even, let's talk about that. Because, you know, I have a friend who've had miscarriages. And people just walk up to them, hey, so when are you getting the next child? Boss bana, jump. There are some comments that people just make, not knowing the behind the scenes of what people have said, or what people are going through or trying to do, or waiting for, as you said. So that I can imagine just from a friendship perspective without the limelight. Now, picture, part of being the gift of the music that God has given you is a pedestal that is also put you on. So how did you get through that? Like, you get?
Because you can imagine, like,
or even your friends, poly for cutting short, even just seeing your friends getting kids left, right, and center.
You know, one after another, you know. And you know, what you're saying is, like what you're saying about your friend, it's very intrusive when people ask you, and these are people close to you. Now imagine complete strangers, you don't even know how they look, asking you the same questions. When are you going to have a child? Why can't you have a child? It's a difficult thing. I'd go even sometimes, I remember this one time we went we went for our show somewhere in, I think it was Makueni. We went for our show, and this a teacher pulls me aside and she says, Kambua wacha nikuulize. First of all, just run when someone tells you what. It's going down.
It's going down.
Wacha nikuulize. And she said, kwa nini umekataa kupata watoto? And that's the thing. People assume you've refused. And even then, like, it's not even their place to assume anything. You know what I mean? And even the courage to say that to somebody that you don't even know. what I thank God for is that she met me at a place when I had learned to speak and defend myself. And I really put her in her place, respectfully, but I really put her in her place. And I told her, never ever ask another woman that question. And I remember, you know, later when we finished our show, she called me aside and she apologized. She said, I should not have asked you that, and I'm very sorry. So also the experience taught me to stand up for myself. That I was not just gonna sit and throw whatever you want to throw at me. I needed to also be able to say, it's not in your place to ask me that question. So it was a tough thing to go through, Asa. But I went through it for 7 years. And so when I wrote...
and let me say, it's tough on both sides. Even your hubby, I'm sure for him as well, it's tough because one, he has to support you as the head, but it's not that dudes also want kids. You know what I mean? He's also going through his own... He's also going through his own thing. And he's also... It used to hurt him, the kind of things people would say about me, you know? And he's not a public figure or anything. He can't get on his, you know, I don't know what to defend his own. So it was difficult. And guys can be bold behind keyboard warriors.
Yes, behind and they can't say the same things to your face. So it was difficult both ways. So so I wrote Anatimiza. And as I was saying, I wrote it from a point of faith that God will fulfill his promises. I didn't directly put myself in that song. It was, guys, Jaziad. You know, Jaziad, this is what she's thinking about. And I felt for me, the song and the video was so powerful. Sammy D did the video. I brought in Janet Ikua, who had been walking the journey of cancer. And at that point, God had done a miracle in her life. And she was talking about her healing and everything. And it was powerful. We can never downplay what happened in her life. I brought in Kanzedena on that video. You know, she also has her own story of walking through grief, losing her mom and her daughter. I brought in Siombua Osiani, who talks, for her it was just her growth in the media. There was all these people, different people, talking about things that God has fulfilled for them. In all those people, it was only my story that was incomplete, and I was okay with that.
Wow, that's faith.
Of course, not too long after that, Janet rested, and I love that her testimony still remained powerful even after she rested. And this is what I learned about. This is what I learned about what God taught me through Janet's resting and also through my father's resting, because when you think about it, the stories are similar in that sense. There was a healing, and then there was resting. I remember one time a lady who said to me, I met her at the hospital where I'd go to see my dad, and she said, I've been seeing you coming here like every day, and I've been wanting to talk to you. She was a worship leader at All Saints. And she said, I've been coming here because my mother and my mother-in-law, I think her mother was in ICU, her mother-in-law was in HD or something like that. And she said, you know, Kambua, God has been teaching me about healing, that he heals us in all sorts of ways. He can heal us for now, for here, to continue doing the work that he's called us to do here, or he can heal us completely by calling us to himself. And it set me free.
Both of them are healings.
Both of them are healing. So I remember thinking, Janet has been healed forever. You know, my dad was healed forever. So Anatimiza was and is still just one of those songs that are, even now, even after the child came, because the child did come, it's still one of those songs for me that's always a point of reference for different things that I'm trusting God for, knowing that if he said it, he will do it. Yeah.
All in his timing.
All in his time.
Ni Mungu wetu pia, habadiliki, hafananishwi. Mungu wa Isaka anatimiza ahadi. Timiza ahadi, anatimiza ahadi.
That is so powerful.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, Kambua, I've understood your music I'm understanding your music from a very different perspective. In fact, some of it needs to go back and re-listen to it, because now I understand where you're coming from, but then also understand now how I can take that music and apply the same thinking and the principles and move on from there. Okay. Any other song on that's come out? Joe? No, is it Joe? Yes.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, and Joe will also be on that album. So Joe was written by Pitson.
Pitson, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let me even say, on this third album, what I've heard, which is different from the other album, is you've written a lot.
Yes.
As compared to maybe the first album or the second. This one it's a proper understanding of who Kambua is.
Exactly, yes. It is a proper, it is me, believing in my ability to write songs and to be able to express myself. And then where I have brought in people to write, they've also still written songs that I believe are still a reflection of they're not far from who I am.
Yep.
So Pitson wrote me Joe. Pitson also wrote me another song which I haven't released. I'm not sure which album it will go on to. But yeah, we did enjoy. It was shot by St. P and Hamza.
Nyimbo nyingi nimeimba, lakini hamkusikia, nitaziimba tena. Kwa mtandao nimeandika, lakini hamkusoma, nitaandika tena. Kwa basi mmehubiriwa, kwa soko mmehubiriwa, mtatuona tena. Tuliambiwa ni kelele, tunakatiza sherehe, mtatuona tena. I won't get tired till you catch the fire of the Holy Ghost. I will not give up till you know this Jesus. Become a disciple.
What other song is on this album? There's a bonus track that of a song that I did with the late Kaberere. Trying to remember the title of this song.
But tell us the process at least.
The process.
Yeah.
So Kaberere, again, just because we'd known each other forever, we'd always said, yeah, we need to do a song. Nifiche.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We'd always said, yeah, we need to do a song. Yeah, we'll do. Then eventually, this was now 2014. He says, let's do a song. I have just a song for us to do. So we went to Tim Still Alive and we recorded the song Nifiche. He actually wrote the bulk of it and we did it. I loved it. And we're like, okay, the next step is now we shoot a video.
Ooh.
And we never got to that place. I believe it was literally weeks after that Kaberere passed away.
On, yeah.
And after he passed, I didn't know what to do with the song. It also, Kaberere passed and my dad were 2 days apart. It was Kaberere, then 2 days later I lost my dad. So I was not even in the space to do anything with it. So I never pursued what can we do with the video now that Kab's not. I kind of just let it be, but I feel like it's a really good song.
Yeah.
It's a really good song that I'd love for people to listen to.
nifiche.
Still alive.
Nilijiona ya kwamba ninaweza, na sio kwa nguvu zako ila zangu. Hey Baba, makosa kubwa na kiburi katawala, nikarudi kwako na kuomba msamaha.
Nifiche mahali pema Baba yangu, niweke na usiniepuke, hata na mambo yangu mengi. Najua wanipenda hata na makosa yangu.
Nifiche, nisijapatikana na mambo ya hapa duniani. Wewe Baba, niweke msafi hadi mwisho, nikivishwa taji langu la uzima. Waliona kama ndoto nilizokuwa nazo.
What?
Yeah.
I've just this is not a song that's on your album, but then when you talked about Pits on writing, you reminded me of the time we were doing a project, me, Riga, Jazz Odongo, called the Freedom Mixtape.
Yes.
And but Riga wrote this song, and you came in and sang of it. I think it was Riga is an amazing songwriter.
He is. Yeah. He was really good.
But you also took that style of the song and ran with it.
Yes.
I also remember another time, I'm just trying to think of times we've connected. A kind of crazy one was when the whole country was shut down, our first curfew. As a country, our first, okay, not our first, but during my lifetime.
Yes.
I think after some Al-Shabaab attacks, and we were hosting December 31st together on KTN.
Yes.
But what Kambua hasn't told people, this is how you know Kambua takes music fast. Me, Kambua, and Alemba were supposed to be the hosts. But along the way, Kambua is like, listen, guys,
I'm out.
We're live on KTN, and she's like, I'm going to Kumbamba to sing my songs.
Yes.
That actually shows me how much you have this passion and love for music. Let's talk about, if you want to, you are now the faith journey coming to pass. The song that you wrote, and now you're pregnant and you have a son. I noticed one thing that you did was completely get off social media or sort of disappear and go through that process.
Yeah. And there are many reasons which maybe I'll talk about another time. But what the one thing I can say is when my son came he came earlier than we anticipated. And
how was it when you found out you're pregnant?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited. But it was a mixture of excitement and fear. Because you're anxious about it's getting pregnant is one thing.
Yep.
Carrying a pregnancy to term is a completely different thing.
Especially the first time. And I didn't know, or even the second or the third. You know, like you don't know how the journey is going to end. Okay, that's true. You know what I mean? So I was just I was excited, but so are you like, am I pregnant? What's going on? Did you have like morning sickness and things like that? or are you just like...
Look at you getting my pregnancy story.
Okay. No, you don't have to say it by
No, I can tell you this.
Okay.
I can tell you this. I can tell you that I remember being on holiday with my husband, and I was sleeping a lot. I was just sleepy. It's like, hey, you're just really tired nowadays. And then I was constantly bloated. I was just like, the food in this hotel, whatever they are putting in their food, really, they need to change. I need to write a review about this hotel.
Now you've given somebody 1 star. It was you.
1 star. There's something in your food. How can you be bloated from day one till the end? Your stomach is just like a stone, you know.
That's funny.
So when we came back home and this thing is not changing, I'm like, surely the food in my house also.
What am I allergic to? Is it air?
Yeah, what have we changed?
It's funny.
So I decided, let me take a pregnancy test, and I did, and it was positive, and I was excited, but it was that thing I'm telling you about. I'm excited, but I'm fearful. And it's a really long story, which which I'll give my testimony in its entirety another time. But you know, I carried my son, and then, you know, my son, as I was telling, he came early, and I knew that my whole, so even throughout the pregnancy, I really lay low as far as I refused to do interviews. Complete. It's not that they were not there. I refused to do them because I felt like, one, it was a very sacred time for me, and it was important for me to be at the right place mentally.
I agree.
And not having that pressure of, hey, tell us, how did it happen? I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to be, let me just be a woman carrying a child and focusing on being at peace. And so I did that. And also, and more importantly, I wanted it to be, my pregnancy and carrying of that child, to be for the glory of God and not to commercialize it in any way possible. So by the time baby came, I knew also, because this was another challenge for, you know, baby is going to come at this time, baby comes at a different time. I knew that I couldn't be distracted. I had to just completely unplug, and I unplugged completely from my social media, completely. And I thank God, because over time He has allowed me to have people who are very close to me, who know how much I value my privacy. So none of those people stalked anywhere.
Yep.
No one, you know, and God just covered us. You know, we're in a hospital. Anybody could have gone. God covered us, shielded us, and protected my baby. And we went through that time, and we left the hospital, and I was just adjusting. Motherhood is tough.
It's great. It's great.
And I've never been a mom. I didn't know what I was doing. So I just wanted to be 100% present in that moment. And when I was ready,
you shared what you needed to share.
I shared what I needed to share. So how it's been, I still watch, it still feels, there are times I'm like, you know, like, pinch me, you know, it happened, he's here. He's such a ball of energy, let me tell you. Times he's pulling my hair, he's pulling my ears, he's climbing all over. Such a ball of energy, and I'm like, who would have thought, you know? I mean, I knew it would come. I never knew it would be this good. And it's a constant reminder for me. This child's a constant reminder for me of who God is, that He's a covenant keeper.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. I just have like 2 more questions, and then we'll come to a close.
Okay.
One of the things that I also know you for, Kambua, for, is you take on a lot of causes. Your brand is honestly speaking, is becoming, in fact, the people who now don't even per se follow you for your music.
Yeah.
They follow you they like what you stand for, your values, the holistic perspective of Kambua, and a lot of, what are some of those things?
Yeah. So I have always been passionate about the girl child.
Yes.
And I decided that I want to use my voice, and I didn't even know how. When I was starting, I was like, I didn't even know how. I just know that I want to help a girl, especially as far as education is concerned, and things that affect things surrounding that. So what happened is, when I started to, and I would just speak it, whenever I'd have an interview, I'd say, I'm passionate about girls. I want to help girls. So one of the opportunities that came to me was Amref Health International has been doing projects for FGM across the country, but especially in the area of Samburu, where it's very rampant.
What's that lady's name again? The lady from Samburu?
Josephine Kulea?
Yes.
So Josephine, I had already met Josephine in a different setting, and what she's doing is just amazing with the Samburu Girls Foundation. So I'd connected up with her in that way, and I'd managed to actually get, Josephine allows you can adopt a girl and sponsor them through their education. And I thought, this is a good place for me to start. It's small, but it's what I can do. So I did that, and it was and still is such a fulfilling experience, and I challenge people to do that. So then Amref comes, and they're doing... is there, if they would like to do that, how can they do that? Connect with her on
her social media. Josephine
Kulea, Samburu Girls Foundation, and she'll be able to tell you,
okay,
you know,
cool.
Do you want to take on 1? Do you want 2? Do you want 3? However many you're able to sponsor. But I just encourage people don't do things out of excitement, because such causes require commitment. Because you can imagine, when you take on a girl and you say you're going to sponsor her, and then your excitement is halfway, it can be very disheartening. So do it commit and say you're going to commit to the end, and you'd rather take on one than take on 5 that you can't do.
I get.
Yeah. So, but it's such a noble thing what she's doing. So,
did you get to meet the girl who you?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I did. We still talk. She's currently at the university. She's majoring in mathematics. Super smart girl. Very smart.
What?
Yeah. So.
So now that you're passionate about that whole effort.
So just opportunities where girls can get education. So what we did with the AMREF is they needed a song for their campaign, for their anti-FGM, and they don't call it anti-FGM, they call it alternative rites of passage. So instead of FGM, we're giving you an alternative. This is what you can do with your girls. Instead of letting them go through the cut, let them, allow us to take them through school, let them study, you know, open up opportunities for them, let them not get married early, let them go through school and then decide if they want to get married. And it has really helped even just transform the mindset of some of these harmful practices. So anyway, I get on board, we go to Samburu. I'd never been, such a beautiful place. And we come back, CNP and I start working on this song, and we did, it's called Kazana. So yeah, we did Kazana, went back to Samburu and shot the video. It was a really, really fulfilling experience.
To show you I can change the world. Just give me a chance to show you I can help my community.
So there's been that, and then there's also like what I was telling you, even with as a gospel TV host, I'm very intentional about creating spaces for females. I love what the men do, and you know, when they come, we'll play their music, but I'm very intentional with looking for Kambua, where have you been? You know, where are you? What are you doing? How can I help you? Do you have a new song? Bring it, I'll play it. So intentionally creating those spaces for women is what I'm really passionate about. But as you've said, that people follow me for all sorts of reasons. The people who follow me because they like my hairstyle. Yeah, no.
They like the way you do your makeup.
They like my makeup. They like what I wear.
And let me say, I've seen I mean, remember when we're doing reflections of Kambua?
Yes.
I've seen sort of you come to your own in terms of a boldness that even me, I'm like, yo, Kambua, you're becoming you've become very real, or just you. You're less guarded in terms of, hey, I won't tell you that's none of your business. Sorry, you know what I mean. Even here, I'm scared to ask some questions. I'm like, it's okay, please.
Next,
it's okay. If you don't talk about that, I am okay. Sorry for asking. But I've seen that realness of your faith being talked about from a very real perspective of faith. Your life being talked about, different things that you've talked about on your social media, fashion, putting up pictures without makeup. You get. I'm like, Kambua.
Yeah.
That's a bold move right there.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you've come to?
I feel like,
Or where are you now?
I feel like I'm coming full circle, as a woman that God created me to be, who is supposed to be confident and fearless in who she is, and knowing that for me to be truly influential, I have to be the most authentic version of myself, and to be okay with it. And Kambua being authentic means that there's probably some things you'll not like about her, but there's a chance that there's a lot of things that you like about her. And so that's what liberated me to be like, I can do a shoot without makeup. And this is Kambua. And you know what was so funny about that? When I told Emmanuel, let's do this, they go, okay, yeah, let's do it. And we did it. That's Emmanuel Jambo. And we did it. And my DM was flooded. Flooded. Because people were like, Kambua, I feel like there's something you've set me free from. I feel like I'm okay the way I am. Whether it's my weight or like people are just like, wow, I feel like it's okay for me to just be myself. And that's what I want. That's what I want a 16-year-old who's following Kambua to know that they're okay the way they are. They don't need the world or people to dictate who they should be. And what's good about over the years just getting to be more comfortable in who I am, and I'm a gospel artist, but I also like nice hairstyles and I like fashion, is it's also brought me money.
Exactly.
It's brought me money. And
and 1 million followers that,
Hey.
But let me say, I'm
yeah.
really impressed by how much you care about what you put out to your people.
Yeah.
So just because there's opportunities for monetization, because you've got 1 million people following you, you're not going to just do anything.
Nope.
Yeah, and we've had conversations where like, no, I'm not doing that because it's not in line. Like, I'm not just going to do it for the money.
No. The opportunities are countless. And as you've said, I've asked you about, Esther, what do you think? These people, they're offering me money, and I'm like, I really need this money, but I also really value my brand and the audience and how this audience has come to be and why they follow Kambua. And I'm not willing again to be a sellout for money. I'm not willing to just give it up for a few $100,000s. The money would be good.
Yeah.
But I also believe in the more you build a brand consistently, that money will come eventually.
Exactly.
It will still come, and it will be in line with what you're doing. It will be on your terms.
And in fact, let me say this. If you're listening to my voice, because I'm never on the camera intentionally, because it's not about me, it's about you. Please go and get the albums. All these albums are actually, first of all, they're amazing productions. You've used the best of the best. But just from the revelation of hearing all this, how the songs came to be, I truly believe they're going to give people the therapeutic healing or whatever it is that they're going through. But it's also just good music.
Oh, thank you.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't like pushing yourself. Me, I push people. The music is good. Get it, people.
Appreciate
the
that.
links are there.
I appreciate that, Esther.
But you were saying it brings money.
It does, because suddenly brands want to jump on, and they want to use the influence that you have. And so for me now, what the learning curve has been is, do I want to just work with any brand that comes to me that's offering me money? I've also had to learn, is this brand in line with the brand that Kambua is building? And then also knowing my value, knowing my worth. When I started, you told me I'll give you 10 Gs to do this. Okay, But then now I'm like, no, why are you giving me 10 Gs? You've seen the value in me, so this is my rate. This is my rate card. And then let's negotiate from there. Because I'm giving you value, you're also giving. It's a give and take. So that has been I feel like I'm in the school. I'm learning.
That course your dad made you do is coming to handy.
It really is coming handy. So then I've been a brand ambassador. Then I've been an influencer, and I'm doing all these things. They're good because then they help me. They're also helping me give back to the very thing which is my core, which is the music. Because I can't say, Asa, I can't honestly say that I'm living off of my music. No, not yet. Perhaps one day I'll get there and I'll be so happy. My music still needs funding,
Yep.
you know, to keep going. And so these things that I'm doing, which have come as a result of the music. They're giving back. They just keep giving back. Then I'm able to, I can go to studio, I can shoot a video, I can do all these things. So they're all, in a sense, working together.
Yeah. I'm actually of the belief that in Kenya we can live off our music.
We can.
And it's the people listening to my voice
Yes.
that make that happen. Of course, it's also the artist making it affordable for the people listening. And I love what you've done with these 3 albums that I'm trying to push people to get. Because you've made it affordable to them. Accessible to them. Accessibility was one of the things that we didn't even have. You get people now can directly talk to you, Kambua. Imagine. Anyway, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for this amazing conversation. But I want us to end it. I want to ask one last question. I promise it's the last one. So that you can run off to your little baby boy. You've given us so much time, which I'm so grateful for.
My pleasure.
What can we expect? And you don't have to have the answer to this. I'm learning it's okay to say, I imagine, when I interviewed Calligraph, he said, imagine me, I don't know, coronavirus, it may come. But at the same time, I'm not asking for a 5-year plan, but in your head, where do you see?
So the space I'm getting into, and I'll only talk about this because, again, I like to speak things in faith and those things hold me accountable. So I recently was accosted by my very good friend, Dan Cheesy Aseda. And he, he's like, I want us to do something. And what he wanted us to do was to start doing my music on a live platform. And I was like, man, Dan, I haven't been like on a live stage in that sense for years. I'm so rusty. Like, it's a very scary space. And it's like, no, let's just do it, you know? And I said, okay, fine, I'm going to do it. And for me, I'm in a space where I'm taking chances with things because I know that growth comes, when you're afraid, and especially when you're afraid. So what I would like my audience to expect is to see more of Kambua as less of a recording artist and more of an artist who can bring you and you can experience her as a live performer. And I'm also, post-corona, I really want to take my music to other countries. And my heartbeat A-Star is Africa. That's my sphere of influence. I love, we'll go everywhere else. Call us to Canada, Australia, we'll come. But there's something that gets my heart going in this continent of ours. I can't explain how I felt when I was in Nigeria. I can't explain how I felt performing in Burundi and Rwanda. There's something, it just triggers in these countries, in Tanzania. So I want those countries now to intentionally experience my music and to get to know who Kambua is and what the message on my heart is.
I actually didn't even ask you about. Anyway, there's so many things that I haven't asked you.
Did you ask me about?
I did. I mean, we can't cover everything. We are trying to compress your life into 4 hours, but we've gotten a lot. So mine is just to say thank you.
Thanks.
God bless you. God bless your family. Continue to elevate you. In 10 years, when we are back here, may you be laughing about. May we continue to have the conversation just about the amazing testimony of what the far that God would have brought you till then. So thank you. God bless you.
And
let's
awesome.
go. Let's eat, man.
and let's get more women on this.
In fact, Kambua, we just look and start calling them out. The platform is available.
Okay.
Let's start with Eunice Njeri, who I have been asking.
Eunice Njeri.
And then move.
Alice Kamande. Nasha Mapenzi, Rosie Ohon,
Esther Wahome,
Emmy Koskei, Esther Wahome, Sarah Kay. Oh my gosh, you need to get these people's stories, Esther.
Let it be known that I am available. So guys, it's not me who doesn't want. Modoni Drama Queen is also, plus many others.
Yeah, many.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's stop running. Esther is a good person. Yeah.
Asante sana.
Thanks, Esther.
Thank you.